All right, welcome everybody back to another edition of Chairgatin. I'm your host, Rattlesnake, coming at you live, not from Austin, Texas, but from south of Atlanta in Georgia. If you can't tell from my red-ass face, we've been at the racetrack all weekend. I'm dead tired, forcing myself to do this, here with the new co-host, Dakota. What's up?
Oh, man, it feels good. I'm a little tired as hell myself. I'm a little sunburned. We underestimated the power of the sun this weekend. The wind was blowing. The races were amazing, and we had a good-ass time, dude.
Yeah, we had a good time. Like I said, I am dead tired. I got a flight tomorrow morning. We were planning on doing this show since I was going to be in Atlanta. I was not planning on being this exhausted because we did a double header on Saturday, and then obviously the Cup race today. And yeah, we just wanted to talk about the race, the weekend, the experience that I had here. Dakota showed me a good time as best he could. He's not a very good host.
I'm trying the least I can.
Yeah, so Dakota, if you haven't watched the last episode, he is the new official co-host. So we are co-owning this thing now. It's a 50-50 partnership. Except he didn't pay me anything, so
I'm bringing in a little Southern hospitality to the Chairgatin Podcast.
Except he's not hospitable; he's kind of a dick. So yeah, here we are, and I guess first and foremost, I wanted to talk to you about this. Everybody seems to hate the Cup race in Atlanta, and I guess I understand watching it on the television. It might have been kind of a boring race. But obviously I'm going to be biased because I was just at the race and I thought it was an incredible race. But I think that's just because I've been drinking all day and it's been a hell of a time. What did you think of the race?
Well, like we were talking on the ride home, is being at the race, smelling, hearing, feeling the cars. It was a typical ass Atlanta race. It was good. We had a pass for the lead with 7 to go. It went green most of the race. There was one incident beside the stages. And the racing, it's a racer's racetrack. You have to appreciate racing to be there. But I'm sure on TV they maybe didn't have a lot to talk about. But being there, I never once was like, oh, I'm bored. I was enjoying the races the whole way through. I enjoyed everything I saw today. But then I get on Twitter tonight, and I've only seen a couple things. And I see, oh, Atlanta was boring. Oh, Atlanta this and that. And it's like, dude, I guess you just had to be there because Atlanta was fucking awesome.
I think it's a you had to be there moment.
Yeah.
I think it was a you because I understand. I'm sure if I was at home, I'd probably be bitching too, but it was a you had to be there moment. And speaking of Twitter, I don't know about you, but when they were doing the driver announcements and they said Bubba Wallace, I got so deaf quiet because I was like, I need to hear if somebody boos. Apparently people have been booing.
I didn't hear a single boo. I heard some cheers for Bubba.
I heard a shit ton of cheers.
Shout out Bubba Wallace. Everybody was happy. I seen all kinds of every different shape and size of people at the race, and everybody was having a good time. I met a bunch of my Twitter friends today at the race. I mean, everybody at the race was having a great time. So, thankful no one was being negative.
I think the only person that was negative today was me at those old people.
I did witness Rattlesnake and his fine self almost fight an old man at the concession stand.
And an old lady.
An old lady. He almost gave him a 1-2 combo. Yeah. I was like, dude, chill out, man. It's okay. These old people cut them in line. They cut them in line.
I don't care how old you are. You cut in line. I'm pushing
your AARP over. He almost grabbed her by the back of the head. I was like, dude, shit.
They cut in line when I was buying my merch. Obviously, look how dope this hat is. And I walked up and I was like, there's a whole line right here with everybody else waiting in it except y'all apparently. And they were like, oh, well, he called us over here. Anyway, I think I was the only person that was going to fight that day, and it was two 80-year-old people. But I think overall it was a good time. I also want to talk about, we're talking about how you met up with Twitter people. We have to talk about the Noah thing, right?
Look, I don't want to be an asshole. He probably will never even see this, but shout out Noah Cornelius. Check out his content. Check out his podcast. I'm glad I got to meet up with him.
As everyone knows, Dakota is a huge racist.
No.
Well, and I only have him on the show just to have, because I'm so not racist that I need somebody like him to counter just the fact that I'm so not racist.
So I was canceled a couple weeks ago by Noah Cornelius and his gangbangers. And I'm glad he got to go to. I'm glad he got to go to his first NASCAR race, and I'm glad I got to see him firsthand and talk to him.
By the way, if y'all hear stuff in the background, it's because his entire family's in the house.
We're trying to do this.
And it's running around, children, wife. Only one wife, though, so that's good.
Only one wife, yeah. But shout out Nora Cornelius. I was trying to, just talk to him and, just make the facts straight. And we had a good time and caught up and made amends. And, it was good to see him and, dab it up, let him know how I felt, let him know how he felt. And I guess we're cool now. I'm still blocked, but
we're waiting for him, man.
Shout out Nora Cornelius, dude. It was good to see you.
It was good to see you. We are both excited that you went to a race. That's what we were talking about.
Glad you got to come, dude.
And in fact, next time you want to come to a race, if we're there, hit us up and we'll go to the race with you.
Yeah.
We're very friendly, nice people. Speaking of one of Dakota's wives, we're joined right now by his wife. Do you want to come say hi?
Hello.
Jesus Christ. All right, don't worry. She's never going to be in the show again.
That was the one and only.
We apologize for that.
First off.
But overall, throughout the entire weekend, what would you say the best race was? Truck, Xfinity, Cup.
I'm not gonna shoot the shit here. By far, the Xfinity race put on the best show yet again. Cup race was typical. Truck race was the Kyle Busch show, but the Xfinity had all the drama. We had the best car had to fight from a penalty back and forth.
Comment. We got a drink.
Oh, comment, drink.
Yep.
Best car had to fight from the back. Then we have the second best car trying to pull away. Then all of a sudden, holy shit, at the end, we got a fight, little scrap action, Noah Gragson, Daniel Hemrick. I mean, all around, the Xfinity race gave you everything you want to see in a race, and it put on a great show.
And by the way, got another comment real quick. Shout out Nathan. He was at the race with us the entire weekend.
We didn't hear nothing in terms
of so that was what I was going to talk about. So he's been with us like the whole weekend at the race.
Shout
Nathan,
out
what up? He's my boy now. I think I'm actually cooler with him now than Dakota. So, Nathan, if you ever want to be on the show and take his spot, totally understand. But, yeah, it must have been on your side. We actually didn't hear any boosts, at all. I told everybody to shut the fuck up because I was like, I need to hear if there's any boosts. I didn't hear any boosts.
Yeah.
And, like you said, not as much as Kyle Busch. So, that's another thing I was going to mention. In terms of, the boo to cheer ratio, usually people like Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch have a lot of cheers and a lot of boos. Bubba was one that had a lot of cheers, and I didn't hear any boos. I'm sure there was a couple boos, but it was one that I was paying attention to, as well as Kyle Larson. Neither of them, I didn't hear any boos.
I heard Kyle Larson got a ton of cheers.
He said the N-word.
You can't say that on here.
Technically, she's allowed to say that.
Kyle Larson,
we're not allowed to say that. You can say it, we can't.
Kyle Larson is just making a huge comeback. He's coming back hard. He's already got the win. We were talking dude, Kyle's got this thing locked up. And Ryan Blaney came on hard at the end. But Kyle's making a whole new name for himself, and it's awesome seeing him run up front. I'm definitely going to see him getting multiple wins this year and a Final Four threat.
Kyle Larson is the guy that, what would you say, 5-6 years ago, everybody thought was going to be contending for a championship, and it never panned out.
Car.
Right, and it never panned out because he was so talented coming into the series that we just all kind of expected it, kind of like Chase Elliott, but before Chase Elliott. And I feel like now that we're seeing him in the level of equipment that he kind of should have been in, it seems like this year he actually will be a championship contending driver. He seems like the best driver this entire series.
Dude, immediately, it was before the first competition caution, I was like, dude, look at Larson. Look at Larson.
Right.
Look at Larson. He ran Hamlin down in no time. Or Kevin was running second. Ran Kevin down, blew his doors off. Was running down Hamlin, and I was like, dude, holy shit, Larson is flying. Right off the bat.
Going into it, we were naming drivers we thought would be good. Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, and Brad Keselowski, I think is what we were talking about. And within a couple laps, you're like, ooh, never mind. I think it's Larson. This is a Larson race.
There was definitely a couple surprises in the top 10 today where I was like, dude, look at the top 10. And guys where I was also like, dude, where the hell is that guy? Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano were totally non-existent today. I have no idea if they forgot we were in Atlanta. Kevin Harvick had a left rear tire going down coming to the beginning of the first stage, so he played catch-up all day. Larson saying he can't stand Logano over the mic. I saw that. We'll get to that in just a second.
Right.
But, I had my doubts about him making Final Four. Very doubtful, but now.
Right.
Yeah, we'll get to Larson gossip in just a second. Suarez was up in the top 10. We had Chris Buescher up in the top 10. Ricky Stenhouse was like 12. Austin Dillon was up like P6. Kyle Busch has been kind of off lately.
Right.
Up there battling like P2 for a while.
Yeah, Kyle Busch looked solid today.
Dude,
actually.
there was a lot of guys where I was like, dude, he's having a crazy.
I was
good
watching
run.
Austin Dillon. I think it was like 20 laps to go, and Austin Dillon was P5, and he was sitting P5 like for a while.
Yeah.
And I turned to you because I was watching Kyle Busch's car, like with 20 laps to go. I was like, Kyle Busch is gonna pass him. He's gonna burn past him. I just hope that nobody else passes Austin because Kyle Busch had a fast car. He looked good.
Yeah.
Just took him a little.
He was a solid top 5 car all day.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson is literally, like he's talked in his interviews, maybe he was kind of half-assed fast in the 42, but now he actually has a solid good car and solid equipment in the 5 car.
Right.
And he is like having unreal equipment like he's never had before. And, it's just crazy to see how freaking fast he is. He dominated the whole race, never let up. I really didn't see him losing it until right there at the end when, Blaney came up there. But Kyle Larson has established himself as a top dominant Hendricks driver and a top dog for the top spot in the Cup Series.
I can't believe that he lost it. I was actually surprised when Blaney started coming up. I was like, wait, what just happened? And we were talking about this. It almost seemed like Larson kind of let him go past him. Didn't put up a fight.
Well, if you see, like we saw in the comments a minute ago, I saw on Twitter, Larson said, I freaking hate Logano. And Logano kind of raced Larson hard there for the lucky dog, or going a lap down.
Mm-hmm.
And it held Larson up, and Ryan Blaney ran him down like that. Came up, Ryan Blaney makes a pass kind of effortlessly. But, I would say Logano kind of held Larson up there, which let Blaney catch him really fast. And but to me, that we've seen that before. We've seen lap cars play, hand in hand with leaders changing and stuff. And it is what it is, man. What comes around and goes around, and we'll see that again. But all in all, Blaney got the dub today, dude.
Yeah, and I think I got to rewatch it just to see what exactly happened with Logano because, like I said, we were watching it live, so obviously we don't get the angles you get on television. But I'd have to rewatch it to see exactly what happened. It's just surprising because Logano's not the type of guy that seems to be a good teammate. That's going to put blocks in for his teammate to win. I'm like, that's not really Logano's style. If anything, Logano's the guy that's going to block his own teammate and wreck him out.
Oh, sorry, we got a special co-host coming in, Luna Rutledge.
Bring
She's
her
trying to give us. Luna, you trying to get some details? You trying to get some candies? Hey.
Say hi.
Hey, hey.
This is the new
We
podcast
got M&Ms.
mascot.
This is our
Can I have one?
production manager.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm sorry if you hear background noise. It's our production manager setting up the set.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, people hate Logano or love Logano. It is what it is. I like Logano. I love the aggressive, racing. Love the aggressive blocks. But, oh, we got another comment. People are overlooking the fact that 11 has one finish out of the top 5. Oh, my gosh. I hadn't thought about
Right.
it. We'll get that in just a second. Logano was, I think he finished P15. He was kind of non-existent the whole race, but he's either been in the top 3 or he's been nowhere in the picture. So I really don't know what to think of Logano so far this year speed-wise, but if he's got contention to win, he's going to be there.
Right. Because that's Logano. I mean, that's what he does. He's going to get a win. He's going to, he'll be in the playoffs competing. But, we have a stampede. We have a stampede outside, guys.
Sorry. I'm married and I got kids. I'm sorry.
This is what I deal with. Colton, if you're watching, I regret my decision.
Shout out Colton, boy. We missed you today.
So another thing I wanted to talk about, and we're just going to be jumping back and forth, honestly, because I am just exhausted and my frame of mind is gone. But we have to talk about the fight.
Let's jump.
We have to talk about
Let's
the fight.
jump right back into Saturday. We finished the Xfinity race. Think of what you want. Daniel Hemrick blows through his pit stall into Noah Gragson, totally fucking up his pit stop. Gragson. And Daniel Hemrick backs up. Gragson realigns and backs right into Hemrick. It looks pretty intentional.
Apparently throws the bird out the window.
Throws a bird out the window.
I've rewatched the clip. I'm not totally sure. It seems like something comes out the window, though. So I kind of understand where that's coming from. But obviously that's what went down. And that was what, stage 2?
Yeah, it was right in the middle of stage 2.
Yeah, it wasn't it.
And I mean, like, it looks bad from the Fox angle, but then when you look on top of the JRM pit crew, it looks like Noah's just like trying to get realigned in pit road. But then at the end of the race, Hemrick snakes around. Noah's doing his interview. He grabs him by the collar, and they proceed to throw fisticuffs. And my whole thing is, if you're going to come up and grab a guy, go ahead and throw the first punch. Don't grab him and, shake him up a little bit. Go ahead and knock his fucking lights out. Noah goes with a big haymaker and a miss, and Hemrick gets a little jab in there, and then it's just a big mess from there. These guys aren't boxers. They're young kids, race car drivers. It is what it is. But I fucking love it.
I think my favorite NASCAR fan of all time, like type of fan, is the people on Facebook and Twitter that critique NASCAR fights.
Yeah.
They're the funniest people.
Dude, you should have thrown an arm bar. He should have done. He should have done this. It's like, dude, these are NASCAR drivers. I'm surprised they're fighting at all. However, I appreciate the passion. I appreciate the the aggressiveness and sticking up for your team. This and that. Throwing blows. It is what it is. It's what the sport needs. I love it. It's why everybody's tuning in Xfinity these days. We're seeing crazy awesomeness. Noah Gragson is making a name for himself. It may be good, Gregson. It may be good, it may be bad, but people are tuning in.
I think one comment was a tweet from Johnny Thomas, he's in our crew now. What should we call it? Like the Core Boys? We're coming up with the name, don't worry. I told y'all last episode we'd come up with the name for like the Five Guys. Five Guys. Five Guys Burgers and Fries. That's Five Guys Burgers and Fries.
Burgers.
So one tweet from Johnny was talking about how he likes the attitude and the fights and stuff that Noah's bringing, but he doesn't like the douchebag mentality. And what I'd like to point out to Johnny specifically is who's the douchebag in the situation? Because Daniel Hemrick came up, and tried fighting Noah way after the race on something that happened in the middle of stage 2. And Daniel was the one that made the mistake. He overshot his pit, which, by the way, is something that he has done many times. He is the 2019 Rookie of the Year in the Cup Series, and the guy doesn't know how to get into his pit box.
Like, I like Hemrick. I like Gregson.
I like Hemrick. I have Hemrick merch.
And it, like Noah said, is, well, if I had his career stats, I'd feel that way too.
That was the sickest burn I've ever heard.
But, it's like, dude, I get Hemrick's probably defending his crew there. They were in danger or whatever you want to call it. He was sticking up for what he believed in. But it's like, dude, you shouldn't have been behind Noah to begin with. You've got the fast car. Get that damn 18 car in victory lane and shut all the haters up. Hemrick's got the skill, but for some reason, it's like he's got a black cloud following him. This year, Noah Gregson's got a total freaking thunderstorm following his ass. He can't help but find destruction in every race. Came back for P4. I mean, that was a great run, but damn, he finds a wreck or something every freaking race. I love Noah, but damn.
How old is Daniel Hemrick? What would
he's our age. He's our age. No, Daniel Hemrick's like 28.
He's like almost 30.
Okay, correct us if we're wrong in the comments, but the motherfucker's like almost 30.
He's like almost 30, and Noah's what, like...
Noah's 22.
12. So, Noah's 12. If you're going to come at a little kid like that, like, you got to whoop his ass. So, that's bad optics for Daniel Hemrick. You're going to come up to him on really a mistake that you made that you're still upset about, even though, like, you didn't do shit all race. And you're going to come up and try to pick a fight with this kid. You're going to have to beat his ass. It's bad optics. It's like... if you wrestle in high school and then you have to wrestle a girl, there's really only two outcomes. One, you beat the shit out of the girl and you look like an asshole. Two, you're the guy that got beat by a girl. So at that point, yes, Noah Gragson is the girl in my scenario.
I got this just in. We have a hot take from Kelly Clinchash live reporting. Kelly, what do you have here?
Okay, so first of all, wait, am I in the frame? Hello. Noah is a jerk, okay? Let's just go ahead and put that up. Thank you. Jesus. Noah's a jerk, okay? We went to Oyster Pub.
Okay. That's enough.
Kelly Clintess, live reporting.
So
He's a jerk.
So moms think Noah's a jerk. Cool hip guys think he's cool. So, make a decision on your own. I think I respect the fact that the kid is willing to throw hands. If you rewatch that, Daniel grabs him, kind of shoves him, and the instant reaction Noah has is puts his fists up. I'm like, that's the type of attitude I like to have.
I look, these guys aren't champion prize boxers, but the 2 times now in the last year we've seen Noah Gragson throw haymakers. He's swinging for the fence. Noah Gragson's just freaking cock-loaded.
Yeah.
Whether he's hitting or not, he's swinging
He's
for the
not a
fence.
boxer. Like,
I love it because all these drivers we see go up and push each other or poke each other in the chest. Noah Gragson said, I ain't got time for that, and just starts swinging. I respect it.
As a person who's been in plenty of fights and gotten his ass kicked plenty, I can tell you I probably look dumber than him in a lot of the fights I've been in. So for all the people that are in the comments talking about how he should fight and, do certain fights, like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Let's be real. And also, he's not a professional fighter. That's not what he's getting paid for. He doesn't care about how he fights. The fact that he's willing to fight is all I care about. And this is another good comment.
Tony Stewart Jr., I respect it.
I like that.
Tony Stewart wasn't afraid to, I'm gonna kick his ass and all this and that. It's great content. It's great publicity. It makes for great ads for Xfinity Racing. I love it. It's what we need. The sport, I'm not saying we need to fight every week, but damn, it's some good pizzazz and PR for the sport and the series.
No, I'm not saying fight. I'm not saying people should just go out there and start like boxing, but I do just appreciate the fact that when drivers have issues, he's not scared to handle it if somebody wants to come up to him. And by the way, every single time he's gotten into a fight, at least with Harrison Burton and now with Daniel Hemrick, if you've noticed, every single time it starts with that other driver coming up and pushing him or grabbing him by the collar, and then he starts swinging. So, you can hate Noah all you want, and you can say, well, he caused it, so it was a reaction. But at the end of the day, these other drivers were the ones that were coming up and picking fights with him, really. Every single time it was a reaction.
Literally. Harrison Burton comes up, pokes him on the chest. Noah swings for the fences.
Doesn't just poke him, he shoves him.
Yeah.
And Noah says, don't put your hands on me. Right. And he shoves him again.
You see it. Whether he's connected or not, motherfucker's throwing fists. Daniel Hemrick comes up, blindsides him in an interview, and Noah reacts and starts throwing haymakers. Right. I love it, dude. Besides Noah's fan base and, it's a little nuts, but I love Noah, and I love seeing the reaction from him. It makes me like him more and more the more I see it.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm some, Noah Gragson fan. I'm not rocking a Xfinity 9 gear, But at the end of the day, I'm entertained by him, and I like to watch him now because I know some shit's going to go down when he's on the track. And that alone is enough. I don't need to be some diehard fan. The fact that I'm always looking out for him, the fact that we're talking about him, we have been talking about him on this podcast more than we more than we've been talking about the winner of the Cup Series, Kyle Larson. I mean, that's insane. Right? Noah didn't even win the race. He didn't even win an Xfinity race. But this is what we're talking about. This is what the whole show has become.
Mm-hmm. Dude, exactly. People are talking about him. All the Twitter's blowing up. Your team Hemrick or your team Gragson. And it's like, if you're not getting talked about, you're nothing. It's PR. It's news. Whether Noah finished.
You keep talking. I gotta go.
Oh, Noah finished P4, and there we are. We're sitting here blabbering and won't shut up about him. He came back from wrecking, spinning, and winning. The kid's got talent. The kid's got heart, and all he does is, nut up or shut up. I know he's had some terrible luck this year, but, it's a fan. I've got my own stories with Noah Gragson. Maybe we'll get into them on the show down the road.
That Felicia tried to drop.
But
I'm glad we cut her off.
Those are undisclosed evidence. We'll get down those. We'll maybe, Dakota's corner. We'll get down there. And, Noah's Noah, dude.
Yeah, and also, I want to mention, I think this is the first race I've ever been to. that it was a doubleheader on Saturday. So it was trucks and Xfinity.
We didn't even talk about truck race. I mean,
This is my translation.
Okay.
Yeah, or translation. Translation. You can understand what I'm
Translation patient.
Yeah, so this was my transition into it. You see how smooth that was going to be?
Yeah, dude.
But you ruined it. So anyway, yeah. I love the fact that it was a doubleheader. As a guy that had to fly in from Austin on Friday, I probably would have missed. I mean, I definitely would have.
On a casual, normal weekend?
Exactly, just for the truck race on Friday because I had to fly in. Mm-hmm. And that would have sucked because I want the whole experience. But instead, we get a full day race on Saturday. Just a full day of us being at the track, having a good time. Every race at this point, I think, should be a doubleheader. I thought it was the best experience I've ever had. And that's what I was tweeting. I feel like people were like, what's he talking about? Atlanta's so great. It was just the whole experience. The weekend was great. A Saturday was wonderful because, it's not the Cup Series, but you're getting trucks and Xfinity in the same day. And you're tailgating and hanging out. It's a full day of racing. And then, you have the best day ever. And then you're like, wait, tomorrow is Sunday. Tomorrow's the Cup Series.
It kind of throws you off. I've been casually, we didn't get in Atlanta race last year, but the doubleheader really, I'm so excited to be at the racetrack. A truck race, fuck yeah, let's go. Oh shit, truck race is over. We got another Xfinity race coming up, dude.
That was awesome. And it was like that.
Yeah, they got the show on the road, and the Xfinity race started 45 minutes after the
It almost felt like a break in stages. It was so quick. We went to the bathroom, and you came back, and they were starting that.
It's so pleasing and nice to, let's watch it. You get a bang for your buck. It's a whole day's worth of racing. And then, we got a race on Sunday. We can't camp like you'd like to for a COVID event, but hey, show up Saturday morning. You got a whole day of racing. Saturday night, re-engage for the Cup race. I wanted to ask Matt, how did you feel for your first time at Atlanta Motor Speedway?
Terrible. I'm never coming back. No, it was a lot of fun, honestly, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier. Is I think I understand people, and I was watching the race thinking this. I was thinking, people at home probably aren't enjoying this. People on Twitter are going to say that this was boring because there wasn't enough lead changes. There was really no cautions. There was only one incident with Kurt Busch. Other than that, it was wide open the whole time. And I was like, I know people at home are probably bored. But the whole time I was in the stands, I was like, it's been a year since I've been to a race because I didn't go to a single race last year. And I was like, I'm in heaven right now. I know everyone at home's probably upset. I'm in heaven. This is exactly where I want to be. And not only that, but I did like the track. I liked the atmosphere around the track. It's an NASCAR race, so it's just good people regardless. Mm-hmm. But I really think the doubleheader on Saturday kind of tipped it over the edge for me just in terms of experience alone, that it's up there now.
It's almost like the Cup race is like a cherry on top because, you had so much racing action on Saturday. It was great. We had a crazy good Xfinity race. And then the Cup race was just like, oh, man, good race. I'm sure people, were, like we said earlier in the show, were hating on the Cup race. But just seeing the car, it's a racer's racetrack, seeing cars slide. I'm sure Fox isn't catching all the action that you were seeing live. Seeing cars sliding 3 and 4, coming all loose off the 4. You get all that. You smell it, hear the cars. Atlanta's
I smelled the engine started when they ran by the first time.
Atlanta's a racer's racetrack. Like I was telling you, it's like Charlotte and Darlington had a baby. It's Atlanta, dude. I know they're gonna repave it and redo it soon, probably. But for what it is right now, I may have been bored on TV, but damn, it's fun to be there and just see fucking racing.
And maybe Nathan will comment in here because he was the one talking to me all about this, possible reconfiguration of Atlanta.
Yeah.
Possible changes with casinos. Pretty much, if anybody's been to Kansas, the way Nathan was describing it, it's going to sound like what Kansas is like with the casinos and the hotels, the water park, and all that, just like Kansas. And he was telling me, I don't know if you've heard anything else about this, he was telling me that it's going to go back to just an oval, possibly.
There's a lot of hot gossip around Atlanta Motor Speedway, and the fact that it's getting 2 dates this year, and I'm already seeing rumors that it's getting 2 dates next year, just snowballs into the fact that we're probably getting a rebuild, and I pray to God it's not Texas Motor Speedway, but we're going to get almost like a Kansas-esque casino, theme park, mall shopping, Big Bang Atlanta Motor Speedway is getting it all. And the only thing I can cross my fingers with is if we're going to get the rebuild, retrack, it's all rumored that we get a freaking champ race. If we get a champ race, how freaking sick would that will be?
I mean, I can see it. They're rotating it. So if they put all the money into it, I think that's very
Well, you
likely.
got all the nostalgia factor, too. Is like, all through the 90s, Atlanta was the championship race or finale. And even on the old point system, it's like how there's a huge marketing area where you could be like, championship race is going back to Atlanta, baby, or some crap like that. And if they rebuild it, from what the projection showed, they were going to get rid of the dog leg. It was almost going to be Homestead-esque, just a short oval, straightaways, and oval is what the projection showed. This is no facts, but that's what I saw.
I mean, if I'm reconfiguring a track right now, Homestead's definitely what I'm looking at.
Homestead's what we're looking at. We're all looking at Homestead.
Yeah, because it's produced such good racing. But, I mean, it makes sense because if you remember, what was that, 2 years ago probably, when NASCAR was talking about potentially moving to different tracks, they said that they're really interested in, like, big cities.
Yep.
And so that's Atlanta. And
we just got the Super Bowl, a year or two ago?
Yeah, so it's a big city, but it's also in the heart of their demographic.
Yes.
Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, that whole demographic.
The whole Southeast original roots.
Right, that NASCAR loves. And so it really makes sense to invest as much as they can into Atlanta. Obviously, Charlotte is like their main focus, of course, but Charlotte's fine. I could see them really being interested in building up Atlanta, especially if people, online and on TV are talking about how terrible the product on the track is, and they're already talking about putting it twice on the schedule. I mean, if people hate the race, that's not a good idea, so they need to do something.
And it was the thing is like, they were literally, they were like, hey, 2015, we're going to repave the track. Brett Keselowski won, and he said, don't repave it, this track's awesome. All the drivers were like, hey, we love the rough surface, and they were like, hey, we might have something here. Leave the rough surface. But, you can only let this go so far. The sooner you repave, the sooner that track can start aging.
Right.
Which is great for the tire fall off and great for racing. So, I mean, I'm all for the rebuild. I'm all for let's redo it. The sooner we do it, the better. The sooner we get to, a track aging is for more future better races.
And more future better.
Quote.
I like it. That's going to be a t-shirt. And I agree. Like, fuck it. Don't even repave, right? And I understand that they've been pushing it off, but if they've been pushing it off because they're just going to rebuild the whole track, that's a great excuse to push it off. If they're just going to eventually, within 2 years, just repave it and don't do anything, it was like, well, then what was the fucking point? Why did we,
Yeah, I can see them we're going to prolong it because we got this whole big scheme plan going on, which as living in the local area is bittersweet because it's like, oh, dude, I'm so excited for Atlanta getting all this, but I'm also very bummed because I live here and all that shit's going to suck, traffic-wise and more people-wise. But going to the race, I wouldn't shut the hell up today about how excited I was with the great weather all weekend. There was good weather, people at the track, everybody's happy, everybody's having fun. Besides you fighting an old man and woman at the concession stand, everybody today was having a great ass time. Everybody ran into was just,
they're lucky they didn't beat their
having a good time.
They're lucky they got away.
You almost put them 1 foot in the grave.
They're lucky they got away without getting an
accident. But, it was just an all-around good time. I laughed for 3 days straight at the racetrack, having a great time.
Yeah, and also, by the way, something I want to mention, the racetrack is not in Atlanta. I have no idea why the word Atlanta is even.
I told him that when I picked him up from the airport. I said
it's quite a ways from Atlanta. It's not even like just outside the city where you're like, okay, like Dakota, Circuit of America, which is in Austin. It's kind of outside the city, but it's on the edge of the city. There's no other town out there. It's the country where it is, and so it's fair to call it Austin because there's nothing else you would even say. No, this is in a whole other town, 40 minutes south of Atlanta?
Just call it an hour, because you're going to sit in some traffic
right.
somewhere.
I mean,
we're straight an hour south of Atlanta. An hour south of Atlanta.
Yeah, it's just a totally different place. It's just, that's the nearest airport, I guess. They're I don't know, what's the nearest airport? We'll just name it after that, because it shouldn't be named Atlanta. It should just be named, Georgia.
It always
Speedway.
cracks me up, because, if I watch replays of the race or something, it'll be Hampton, Georgia, which the racetrack is in Hampton. But I'm like,
There's a cool little
Atlanta
town.
Motor Speedway in Hampton, Georgia.
Which is a cool little town. All these towns down here are really cool. For whatever reason, the only restaurant they ever have is Waffle House. There's no other restaurants. Have you ever heard of McDonald's? Nope, not in Georgia. All they have is Waffle House.
We've been grubbing on some Waffle House.
It's the only restaurant in the whole state, which is fine. It's just there are other
I'll
restaurants.
say we roll that in. What was your taste of south of Atlanta, Georgia living?
I like it. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm going home. If my wife is watching this, I apologize. I'm not gonna make the flight. I'm not going home. That new job I just started, sorry, they're gonna probably let me go.
Apparently, Texas is expensive as shit. And,
Austin is too expensive.
He makes me feel like a broke bitch out here.
He makes me feel like an idiot for how much I pay for everything else.
Yeah, man.
He's telling me how cheap golf is and property. I mean, I don't want to leave this place.
Hopefully, next time we can go golfing. Next time you come out here, we can go golfing.
I've enjoyed it here, as I've made it very clear. Don't want to leave. But we are planning some other races that we're going to try to go to.
Definitely.
Talladega, maybe Darlington. Maybe I'll get you to Austin. I'm trying to.
We got some stuff in the works. Content is on the way.
It just seems a little unfair that I've traveled all the way out here and you won't do the same.
I'm not, as we all know from the prior weekend, I'm not a bitch. And I will do what I can to get out there.
I'm still not sold. So, we're going to do what we can.
I might have to drag Nathan with me. He'll be pissed if I don't bring him.
Yeah, I don't think Nathan's watching anymore because he would be commenting because we're directly talking about him. But I would love for Nathan to come as well. Nathan, we got a guest bedroom. Dakota can sleep outside.
I'll sleep outside. Apparently it's cold in Austin. It snows.
It did once, and hopefully never again. So, overall, the weekend was incredible. I had a great time. I understand people probably didn't enjoy it that much on TV. I think people probably enjoyed the Xfinity race, though, I imagine, right?
Yeah, like, literally we had nothing to say about the truck race. The Kyle Busch show,
Nothing
if he's in the
happens.
51,
Yeah.
that motherfucker's winning, unless he spins out on his own. He stunk up the truck race, he won. And then the Xfinity race was freaking awesome. Doubleheader doesn't disappoint. We had, a typical Cup race. A race started and finished as it should. We had, one actual caution besides stages. That's typical Atlanta. Every now and then we get a caution, but the race typically goes green. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay. When I was younger, I used to be like, man, it's boring, blah, blah. But the older I get, the more I mature, the more I appreciate racing on the track as it happens, as it unfolds before me. I just appreciate racing on the racetrack.
So
I really wish I could.
right. Apparently Nathan's still watching.
Nathan's in school. He's got to pack his lunch and stuff.
Right.
I
don't know if
doubt
his
him
mom
for that.
would allow him to.
I don't.
leave.
I don't doubt him for that. He's got his own career he's working on. But I'll hate to send you pictures if I'm pretty much 90% there.
Even if the race sucks and it's terrible on the show, just because Nathan watches, we'll talk about how it was the best race of all time.
Now, I've never been to Texas, so it might be cool to get
You've
out.
never been in the state of Texas?
Never been in the state of Texas.
Wow, it's like half of America.
I've been to Oklahoma.
You've just avoided. Ew.
I've been to Oklahoma, but not Texas. Man, I'm sorry.
Why would you go to Oklahoma?
Hey, man.
All right.
We've drank 187 beers since we got here since Friday, so sorry for the poor grammar.
Yeah, and everybody here gets drunk way too easily, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, yeah, man, you ready to go to bed? He's like, dude, I'm not even drunk. I'm like, dude, we've done killed 230 racks. Yeah, he's like, I'm not even, yeah. Somebody might need to make some phone calls. If your wife's watching, he needs help.
No, she needs help too. We're both on the same.
He needs help.
Yeah.
My wife definitely needs help. She's never gonna watch this. Okay.
So I was trying to pull up the standings. Do you think they're updated?
Yes. If you go to NASCAR, I bet they are.
I bet they're not. How much you want to bet? Everyone watching.
A beer.
A beer?
Oh, actually, we have a whole cooler full of
We'll
beer.
get $2. You got $2?
I bet Waffle House. The next loser buys next Waffle House.
Waffle House. I'm gonna be gone before.
I will come to Houston. If I fucking lose, I'll buy
I live in
Waffle House. Austin, whatever. Texas. It's the whole thing. It's the whole fucking same state.
Okay.
I bet they're updated.
Oh, it is. Ryan Blaney. It says 1 win.
Oh, they're what'd you say? The points were updated?
All right. Well, I guess
Same thing, I'm like,
I owe you Waffle House. else. And by the way, I'm leaving tomorrow morning while you're at work. So
Well, you'll wake up and
enjoy the Waffle
we'll go to
House.
Waffle House. I gotta leave at 6.
All right. Here's the standings. Want to go through them?
Yeah, go through them.
All right. So number 1, we got Denny Hamlin.
Big Daddy D, Denny Hamlin. Don't sweat.
Not surprising. As Nathan commented, he's just on a roll. Seems unstoppable. Number 2, Kyle Larson. Again, not surprising. That guy is
Dude, he's been. I'm not spitballing here, but he's led almost every race.
right.
It's maybe not the road course, but he's been up front in every freaking race.
At this point, I feel like, and it's still early in the season. So
It's early in the season, but he's leading Hendricks.
It's really early in the season. So I'm just saying at this point in the season, honestly, he's the driver to be the champion because he looks like the champion this year.
Yeah. The way
Week
he's running.
in and week out, I'm like, he's either going to be winning this race or competing for the win.
We haven't mentioned it yet in the episode. We've had 6 races now and 6 different winners.
Yeah, wow.
6 races, 6 winners.
Because it was almost the first one today with Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle Larson was almost going to repeat, but it's going to happen. Somebody's going to get double-digit wins, but
yeah,
or under multiple wins. But I mean, the farther we go, dude, the closer that gap for the top 16 closes. Each new winner is a tighter gap for the top 16.
What happens if there's more than 16 winners?
Then it goes to points. Then we're actually going to race for 17 wins. 17 drivers won, and now we're racing for points.
That would be incredible.
Yeah, it'll be
that would be incredible.
It'll be
that
insane.
If that happens, and the marketing team for NASCAR was right, that this might just be the best season yet, then I think that they control the future, or they saw into the future.
Maybe. Well, they might be right on some things. They're not right on everything.
If
they're right on everything, Bubba will also be the champion.
That's true. He might be at this point. If we have so many winners that the winners have to compete for points, that's incredible. That would be incredible. That would be the best I've ever seen, honestly. So number 3 is Joey Logano. Joey's been running well.
Joey's either second or 15th. He's not in between. He's either almost winning the race or he's non-existent.
Number 4, Martin Truex Jr.
Martin, dude, I really expected big things from him today after that Xfinity practice.
Right.
But he almost won the Xfinity race, and he was kind of just floating in between 5th and 10th all day. It seemed. They never really got up and charged to the front. They kind of just rotated in between 5th and 10th. I don't really know where. I think he finished P9 today. And, just a good solid top 10, quiet top 10 for him today.
I agree. I actually expected a lot going into this morning when we were talking about drivers. The first thing I said was Martin Truex Jr. because he had such a good day in the Xfinity.
Yeah.
I was like, that guy's warmed up. He's got a whole practice race under his belt for this weekend. And he ran really well. He finished second, right?
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, he finished
because
second.
it looked like he was going to win. Ended up finishing second. Kind of surprising that he didn't do more. I guess the practice is technically in different equipment, so maybe it doesn't mean as much as I thought it did.
Well, we got to remember these guys aren't getting qualified. They're not getting practice. So when they fire off this first run, it's the crew chief just throwing his best knowledge at the car and hoping it sticks. I mean, you're really throwing it at the wall, hoping it sticks, and either the driver's going to love it or the driver's going to freaking hate it. I was listening to Kevin Skinner. You were listening with me. And Kevin was like, yo, what the hell? This thing sucks. Front tires are chattering.
Right away.
Bullshit. And it's like, you got to imagine they won the last Atlanta race here, so Roddy's probably rolling off his last setup. And Kevin's like, yo, this sucks.
No, I think verbatim, stage 1,
yeah.
He said, this is the biggest piece of crap I've ever driven in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I think that's what he said, verbatim.
And Rodney Childers is not an idiot.
Rodney was just like, sorry, that sucks, man.
He didn't put a bullshit setup in there. He was like, hey, off of all the knowledge I have, this is probably going to be our best setup. And Kevin's complaining.
And you want to talk about knowledge? I mean, he has the most knowledge. You would expect.
A guy with 9 wins, a crew chief with 9 wins last year, probably have a little bit of knowledge. But Kevin hated the setup. I mean, for what he had to come back 10th is okay. But who we got 4th point?
Well, that was 4th. Number 5 is Brad Keselowski.
Brad, dude, super disappointing today. I really expected more big things because he's always a sleeper in Atlanta. He's got
exactly
2 or 3 wins.
I thought
And
he
he
was a
finished
contender
like
for Atlanta
16th
this year.
or 20th or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's weird for me to say because what I'm about to say does sound weird after today, but Penske has just been kind of hit or miss this year.
Yeah.
And I know it's weird because Penske just won.
Dude, I totally just realized Blaney got Penske's first win of the year.
Weird.
Yeah, like you've seen Joey lead almost every race. Brad was, battling at Vegas or whatever, and then holy shit, Blaney got Penske's first win of the year.
That's not really a good sign for Penske, just being honest. I mean, Blaney's talented or whatever, but you have Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano. You got 2 championship drivers, and you're having Ryan Blaney be the leader of the team right now.
Matty D looked really good today. I don't even know where the fuck he ended up, but Matty D was up to 3rd at one point. I know he started at
that's
P20.
true. Yeah.
He was up in the top 5 battling. I don't know where he ended up. Somewhere maybe in top 10, top 15. But Matty D was throwing bows up there in the top 5.
This entire year, there's been drivers that I have never seen really compete before, competing in races. And I think that's what's really exciting about this year. Number 6, Kevin Harvick. He's trash. I don't know if he'll get a win this season. I think he should just give up.
You shouldn't. Anyways, before, Rattlesnake continues on his dumbass soliloquy, I don't expect Kevin to rock off 9 wins. Again, that was, some fucking nutness. But I expect Kevin to get some dubs. Maybe 1 to 2 to 5, whatever it may be. But I expect Kevin to, get a victory lane. People are like, oh, Kevin's done. He's washed up. We're at race 6, and people are writing Kevin Harvick
What kind
off.
of bet are you willing to make?
I bet you $100 Kevin wins this year.
All right, so you want to bet $100 that Kevin wins?
If he doesn't, if you say he doesn't win,
I say he doesn't win. But
there has $100 he gets a win.
But there has to be odds. This can't be a straight up bet.
What are the odds? What do you mean?
Because the odds of him winning are much higher than him not getting a win.
You said he won't win.
Right, so I'm willing to take that bet, even though the odds are against me. You don't do much sports gambling, do you?
Yeah, but I'm saying, you're saying he won't win?
Yeah, I'm willing to take the bet that he won't win, assuming that we can get some odds working here.
So what do we mean?
So, if he gets a win, I'll pay you $50.
Okay.
If he doesn't win at all, you pay me $100.
How does that work in my favor? Okay, I'll do it.
$50 if
I'll
he
do
wins.
it. I'll do it anyway.
He has an entire season. Okay.
That's on the show. It's on the show.
Let's
go.
go.
I'll do it.
Dude, I am so anti-Kevin
We're
now.
both really good at wasting money. Is what I've learned this weekend.
My God.
One thing I learned about this weekend is we're both really good at blowing fucking money.
We blew money this week. Every time we went out.
I was telling Kelly
who wants
Klitschko,
shots?
I was like, why the fuck did we just blow all that? Why did we spend that money?
Why did I spend
Why
my
did I buy
entire
this fucking
stimulus
hat?
check?
I know. Damn it, Biden, I need my bucks.
My entire stimulus check's gone. I apologize if my wife is watching.
Oh, shit.
We're barely going to afford those new tires when I get home.
Yeah. Hey, Jeep's coming in hot, baby.
All right. Who else do we have after that? We have Ryan Blaney. There you go. Got the win.
Ryan Blaney's in playoffs.
Yeah.
Automatically.
Yeah.
So.
Well, maybe not automatically.
No. Well, you have a good point there.
That would be.
I don't, as we keep talking, I don't see there being 16 winners.
No.
But,
I don't either. I'm just saying that would be incredible.
Yes, but as we know it as of now, Blaney's in the playoffs. Automatically, there's no will he or will he not make it, blah, blah. Can he get through the first round? That's what we need to know. Can he get through the first round of playoffs?
Or will he pull a Ryan Blaney and not do shit?
Yeah. I mean, the last couple of years, he's made the playoffs, and then he's irrelevant in the first couple of races. So
he was compared to Chase Elliott a lot early on. They were both these young up-and-comers, and Chase Elliott is a championship driver now, taking off. And Ryan Blaney is still kind of looking at one.
On that side note,
win a season.
Being in Georgia, in Chase Elliott's home state, how did it feel being a non-Chase Elliott fan?
Not a lot of Austin Dillon fans. But
I think you're the only one at the race.
I'm used to that. I'm used to it. As an Austin Dillon fan, something that's kind of weird is, you always see the number 3 merch and stuff because even look at this huge flag behind me. This flag is not for Austin Dillon, right? As you can imagine. So when I go to races, I see a lot of 3, but people just assume I'm just wearing Dale Earnhardt gear when in actuality I'm an Austin Dillon fan and I'm wearing Austin Dillon gear. So it's weird. You will see 3 stuff, but I can almost always tell if someone's an Austin Dillon fan or they're just wearing Dale Earnhardt stuff. It's usually if it's new. That's usually the best.
I think I saw more Dale Earnhardt swag than I did Austin Dillon.
Oh, that's not even a question. You'll always see more Dale Earnhardt. I had a video that I'm trying to see if I can find. It was essentially, I'll just post it. It was the haulers or the merch trailers for every single driver because finally we have the merchandise and everything back. And so it was all of them, all the teams. You have RCR and Stuart Haas and all that. And I have a video of every single trailer of these merchandise trailers and how there's like 1 or 2 people in line. And then I pan over to just Chase Elliott's trailer, and it is like a 30-minute wait. I mean, the line is like at an airport. I mean, it is long, and it is deep. It's not one single. It's like 6 lanes of line and people waiting forever. That's how crazy it was.
It was literally like waiting at Walmart. And, I'm trying to pick the shortest line. You're still going to wait forever. And it doesn't matter how many empty registers are closed. You're going to be in that long-ass line at Walmart. If you're getting the Chase Elliott line, let me go ahead and just give you some advice. Order the shit online. Because if you're planning on getting some swag at track, you're going to be there before the race starts.
Just do what I do. The swag I get at the track is the track swag. Like, I got 2 shirts and a koozie.
And a hat. I coached them into that.
Well, this was separate. But I got 2 shirts and a koozie specifically for Atlanta Motor Speedway. Because I'm at Atlanta. One of which, had the date on it. Because that's where I am. Usually when I want Austin Dillon stuff, I'll just order it online. Why do I need to wait in a line at the track? This I got because with the scanner, it wouldn't work with my cowboy hat. Needed a different hat.
And cowboy hat for the show.
I should have. But I'm so proud of this new hat. I loved his hat, but I hate the 4. And I was like, I essentially want that hat with a 3. So here I am.
Impulse buy. Sometimes you gotta jump on things and see what happens.
Yeah.
It goes good with the flag. Your hat with the flag, it goes good.
You can't even see the top of my head with the flag.
Oh, dude, blend right in.
So, anyway, the hype is real with Chase Elliott. People love him.
Who won who lost the fan battle? When you did the battle of the fan.
What are you talking about?
Chase Elliott versus Bubba Wallace's fandom.
The worst fan base.
The worst fan base. Who lost? Or won?
It was Kyle Busch.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it was Kyle.
I would totally. Well, Kyle's got some real shitty fans. Shout out Dalton Good. He's a diehard Kyle Busch fan. But I would totally put Chase Elliott and Bubba Wallace fans neck and neck. Their egos and their fucking nutness. I mean, oh, dude.
You got a beer or what?
Yeah, I'm out of beer. I got a little sip left.
All right. I think the most hated fan base, what it came down to was the old school, the veteran, and the young blood coming up into it. So Chase Elliott and his fan base is notoriously bad, but it's just kind of become that the past year or 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Before that, Chase Elliott fans were fine. You were like, it was kind of like Ryan Blaney fans. They kind of like this new young kid that's talented. He's coming up. Or like a William Byron fan. You're like, okay, you're a fan of this kid. Now it's just absurd. And so he's kind of new for being a hated fan base, whereas Kyle Busch is an established hated fan base.
I totally agree. Kyle Busch, his fans have been hated for years. They kept shit. I mean, I saw that guy at the liquor store this morning. He said, go Kevin. I said, heck yeah. He said, as long as Kyle Busch doesn't win. And it's like, if you're not a Kyle Busch fan, you're anti-Kyle Busch fan.
Right.
It's like, I'm an in-betweener. It's whatever. I respect the dude. But either you love him or hate him. People fucking hate Kyle Busch if they're not his fan.
Rusty, by the way.
Rusty Waters, what up?
That's my boy. Yeah.
Live to you guys this weekend. Boy.
Rusty.
I love you, dog. We got to get together. Talladega, baby. Let me know.
And cheers.
Cheers,
Thank you,
boy.
Rusty. Rusty, if you've never done anything with Rusty, I know you know who
Me
he
and him
is.
used to message all the time.
Okay.
I've been trying to get him to go to Talladega.
He is the nicest
Dude,
person
he's awesome.
in
I
NASCAR.
fucking love
In the
Rusty.
NASCAR like digital media community, he's the nicest person.
Yes.
Like
He's an OG.
He's
an
the
OG.
person that I strive to be in terms of joy and happiness.
Yes.
Because I am a bitter asshole. And
Yes.
I look at Rusty and I'm like, it's possible to be
Dude,
pleasant.
I love Rusty. Hey, I love Rusty. I've been shouting out.
This
I've
podcast is a
I've
Rusty fan base.
I've always told Rusty, man, I said, when you're ready to come spring Dega, fly to Atlanta, I got you, my boy.
Yeah.
I've told him, I was like, dude, you want to go to Dega? I got you. Let's go.
We love Rusty on this podcast.
Hell
So
yeah.
Rusty, thanks for tuning in.
That made my night.
I know. I'm so happy. I'm happy that you're happy because I know you're happy, Rusty. You're always happy.
My boy.
So
I
that's
guess we
pretty much
should
gonna
wrap this
wrap it
thing
up.
up.
That's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this just chaotic episode.
We got some beers to polish off and some scary movies to watch.
Yeah. So the last essentially 2 episodes have been chaotic. Well, one was the co-host challenge, right?
Let's shout out Jacob, dude. Jacob came through this fucking
Yeah,
weekend.
we should.
Dude.
Okay, that was
Jacob-
one other thing we forgot to mention. Jacob. All right,
Dude.
we were hyping up Nathan in the show, and we love Nathan. We were hyping up Rusty, because Rusty's the best human being
Yeah.
alive. But Jacob, who I have said many times is the ultimate Chairgator, and I
Yes.
stand by that.
Physically by a fact.
Physically and mentally and emotionally. I don't know, probably
Yeah.
emotionally. He is the ultimate Chairgator.
Yes,
So,
he is.
Nathan, had a great time with you, bud.
Hey.
Come out to Texas soon. Jacob, if you're watching, we love you. Thank you so much.
Totally good, dude. It was great to meet you, Jacob. I'm so glad we got to meet up and all, get together with Dex on Saturday and totally help my boy out with a ticket.
That was what I wanted
Dude,
to mention.
Jacob
So
came
check
through.
this out, everybody. Jacob, who, if you followed the show, he was one of the finalists for the co-host challenge. He is the badass dude that is in a wheelchair. That he made the joke. The show is called Chairgatin, and I'm in a wheelchair. I mean, the best line that's ever been on my show in the history of my show. I'm gonna stick with that line forever. We met up with him finally in Atlanta, and he is just as funny and witty as he is online. He was just cracking jokes. We're trying to keep up with him, and he's just running around with people on crews and just all these NASCAR people, and we're like, oh my god, we can't hang with this dude. And you just happened to mention something about your buddy needed a ticket.
So we had a good group. Oh, need them to open it up. Hey, Rusty, bring it on, bro. I'll bring you a mask. I'll bring you whatever. I'll bring you some hand sanitizer, whatever you want, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, Dakota, boy,
Rusty, let me know. You can
Dude.
stay in my guest room.
we're already. All of us are gonna be bunk bedding in this guest room.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
you're gonna be on the couch. If Rusty's coming,
I'll sleep outside. I'll sit outside with
if
the goddamn
Rusty's
dogs.
coming, you get the couch.
I'll sleep with the dogs. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Rusty gets the guest bedroom.
I had a buddy with us, just for Saturday. I brought up one of my best buds along. He's a kind of NASCAR fan, but I said, hey man, come on, it's sold out, but we'll try to find you a ticket. Jacob threw down, got his buddy Dex to work things out, and they gave us a ticket for my buddy to get in. And
Which, by the way, was a terrible idea. We showed up with his buddy, and we assume we can just scalp a ticket because usually people are just like, hey, who needs a ticket? Who needs a ticket?
yeah,
Outside. But I guess because it's only 30% capacity, it kind of makes sense. People aren't just getting rid of their tickets anymore because you got a ticket, you're going into the race. And so his buddy's walking around by himself just kind of looking for a ticket. Not successful at all. And he's off looking for it while he's over there talking to Jacob. And he's just like, yeah, my buddy's not going to get in the race. And all of a sudden he's like, oh, you need a ticket? No big deal for this sold out race.
dude. I mean, Jacob came through, dude. He didn't get to go there today, but he was an OG, man. He was so excited. We were so excited to meet him, and it was just such a humbling moment.
So sweet.
It was. Hey, Kelly Clinch, that's so sweet, Jacob. I might need to watch my back.
So sweet.
Yeah. Whoa.
But I mean,
Jacob, stop stealing.
it was
his wife.
awesome. Just us Twitter friends getting to meet in person. I met a bunch of my Twitter friends today at the race, and it's just so cool. As NASCAR as a whole, all of us getting to come together and like hang out and see each other at a race instead of just talking shit on our phones.
I did not expect Atlanta to be the track that I would like start meeting up with all these
Right?
people.
Hey,
But it
Atlanta's a
was.
sleeper, dude. If you haven't
It's
been
a
there,
sleeper.
you need to come out.
Come out, like honestly. I mean, my favorite tracks have always been like Talladega and Darlington, but Atlanta's up there with Kansas for me now.
It's
Kansas-
coming up.
It's similar
Atlanta's
because
coming on the
Kansas
comeback.
is also a sleeper track that you should check out that nobody ever talks about. Atlanta's like that too. For whatever reason, nobody cares to talk about it, but
It's been growing. Like literally, last couple of years, it's been getting better and better and better and better.
I had a great time. The whole area is great. He's not great. His wife's great, and his daughter's great. I had a great time overall.
A real piece of work. You know what I'm saying?
A real piece of work. That's the
Hey.
best way to describe it.
Should we wrap this thing up?
Oh, absolutely. So, and great barbecue down the street. That's right. Should we give a shout out to the barbecue place? What?
Southern Pit Barbecue. I was, not, hyping it
That
up as much as
macaroni
Nathan
was
was,
on point.
but Georgia Barbecue
The
did
cornbread was
not
good.
disappoint.
Yeah, the cornbread was good. What's it called? Southern
Pit
What town
Barbecue.
was it
It's in Griffin, Georgia.
in? In Griffin, Georgia. There you go. Free sponsor.
Hey,
Southern Pit Barbecue. You
let's
got
see
a
if
free
we
shout
get
out.
them on the iRacing car.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. Like I said, it was kind of a shit show these past 2 episodes. Just 'cause we're kind of getting everything back into swing of things. So on Wednesday, we'll do our next episode. I'll be at home. He'll be here. We'll have it set up like official again, and we'll be doing it like normal.
It's an honor to be the new co-host.
It's been great.
It's an honor to be the new co-host.
Hey,
Yeah, you're actually not the new ghost. Your wife is.
you want you
What?
just kid.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers, boys. Shout out Rusty. Shout out Jacob. Shout out Nathan. And what a great race weekend in the Bucks. Your first one back from COVID racing. We got a lot more planned.
We have
Cheers.
so much fun.
It's only up from here,
Yeah.
honestly. This
Y'all
year's about
just
to be
get ready.
freaking nuts.
Get ready. This
It's about to be nuts.
it's gonna be crazy. So thanks for
I'm
tuning
stoked.
in. We'll see y'all Wednesday.
Hey, shout out Chairgatin, baby.
Peace.